Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless. Billy and Jack clash. Nick fears Phyllis will side with Cain, and Phyllis offers up information. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In France, Phyllis is sitting alone in the maze when Cain appears. He asks if she's celebrating already and warns her not to jump the gun. She just wanted something to sip on while the pressure mounts. Phyllis tells Cain she thrives on pressure and enjoys sipping alcohol, while she watches the meltdowns in her mind. Cain apologizes for cutting their conversation short earlier. She muses that seeing Lily with Damien must have hurt. He confirms he still loves her and always will. Phyllis loves his plan to put all the companies in Genoa City under an umbrella corporation, but the pining over a lost love is distracting. Cain assures her that what he feels for Lily won't interfere with his plans for Genoa City. Phyllis does a recap of Cain and Lily's intense love and how it fell apart. They talk about feeling good when you're together with the kids as a family. Cain explains Lily got upset when he reconnected with Colin and forgave him. Phyllis understands why Lily was upset. She doesn't believe a man like Colin ever repents. Cain argues that he was there and saw it. When his father faced death, he wanted to make amends. He wanted to leave him a legacy of building something, not stealing it. Phyllis snarks that helping him create a fake name was the redemption. Cain counters that Colin helped him keep his work life from interfering with his personal life. No harm was done. Phyllis warns him people are angry and indignant. She whispers, "There's something I know that I probably shouldn't tell you, but I think you need to know." Phyllis warns she'd be burning huge bridges by saying this. Cain turns away, and she blurts, "The Newmans know you're up to something. When he was Dumas, there was respect and mystery. Now it's different." She's worried about Cain, and needs to know what he has planned so she can help. Cain argues she hasn't proved her loyalty yet. Phyllis tells him Nick gave her this information. She's picking him over her daughter's father. "Isn't that enough for you?" Cain says, "Not quite." Phyllis asks if Cain wants her to bow to him and get on bended knee. "I'm standing here with you, not Nick." Cain's still not convinced. Phyllis will tell him more. They know he's been going to Genoa City and scooping up real estate. He bought Nikki's old divisions. Cain tells her if she can find out how they got that information, it would be worth a great deal. She asks, "For you or for me?" In a train car, Nick updates Sharon on Adam's visit and his news about Cain's real estate spree. He'll hold him off until they get home. When there's a threat against the family, they stand united. He goes on to say that he spoke with Phyllis and warned her she needed to choose a side. He told her something that makes Cain untrustworthy. Sharon muses that Cain has something to prove. He and Phyllis have a lot in common that way. That kind of thing can bring about all kinds of bad behavior. Nick can only make so much headway with her, but there's someone else who might be able to get through to her. Sharon tells Billy he's being irrational. Billy enthuses that they could take Victor down. How could he not love that? Jack hollers that he can't measure his life by victories over Victor. It's empty and meaningless. It's a mistake, Billy, and it throws your common sense right out the window. Billy expects him to respect his opinion. Jack warns his brother to be careful he doesn't screw himself out of two companies. Billy asks if he's threatening to pull out of funding Avid Communications. Walking through the maze, Sharon and Nick come upon Cain and Phyllis. Cain asks, "Stroll under the stars." They chat about the heat, and Nick lets Cain know they're ready to go back to Genoa City. Cain understands. It has a pull on all of them. Sharon steps aside with Phyllis, and Cain tells Nick he's ready for the next phase of his life. Nick needles about him wanting to divest his holdings. Cain says it's about relationships at the end of the day. He's thankful he has this time to spend with old friends. Across the way, Sharon and Phyllis banter where the blonde asks if they interrupted something. Phyllis guesses Nick asked her to talk to her. He told her to pick a side and has brought her in to see if she has. Sharon admits she's right. Phyllis reminds her Nick gave them every reason to hate each other. Now they don't, but he's still trying to use that for himself. She doesn't want Sharon getting into her brain. Sharon suggests she just tell her if she's picked a side. Phyllis tells Sharon that Cain was surprised Nick brought her on this trip. She could be back in Genoa City, but instead, She's there trying to get information from her for Nick. She admits she hasn't picked a side yet. It's no secret she's in a transition period. She's tried to jumpstart her career to no avail. Sharon warns the same thing could happen with Kane. Phyllis needs to figure out which side will get her needs met. Sharon reminds her one side is the people she knows and has connections with, while the other is Kane, who spent 6 years deceiving everyone, including his ex-wife and kids. Phyllis reminds her the people she has connections with have left her hanging. Sharon thinks she's falling back on old insecurities, but Phyllis argues they all see her as a problem or mistake. Kane respects her and thinks she's smart. What would you choose? Nearby, Nick questions Kane, thinking they're all friends after he dropped the Dumas bomb on them. He flew them all out there to prove a point. Nick tells him Lily has moved on, and doing all of this will only push her further away. As far as everyone else goes, it will be a long time before anyone takes him at face value. He warns him about going after his mother and Chancellor. Kane says he made an offer. That's all. Nick knows he'll try to take Chancellor back by force if necessary. Across the way, Sharon guesses Phyllis has decided to side with Kane. Phyllis didn't say that, she was just thinking out loud. She invites her to go tell Nick. Sharon reminds her Kane already has someone on the outside scooping up real estate. She doesn't know what he's up to or what he's after. Phyllis thinks she should get credit for not blathering to Kane that it's Adam that's been slithering in and out of this place. If she was out for herself, she would have told him. Sharon hopes she'll keep it that way. You won't tell Kane, will you? Nearby, Kane gripes to Nick about his gesture of friendship being misinterpreted. He wants to shake hands, but Nick wants to hear that his family has nothing to worry about. Kane says he has no doubt the Newmans will always be fine. Nick shakes his hand at Sharon and Phyllis that Phyllis is determined to learn Kane's secrets. Does she want Phyllis in the line of fire to get in trouble? Sharon didn't save her life for her to ruin it. I will try to see what I can find out. Nick takes her hand. That's all I can ask for. He tells her she has an ability to strip away the noise and get to the core. Sharon laments this trip becoming so convoluted when the place is so lovely. Nick says it's all a sham. Sharon will do what she can to get information. Nick tells her she's the best. At the beginning of the maze, Billy and Sally are canoodling when Jack and Diane appear. They make small talk about the heat, and Billy makes cracks about Kane being behind it. How long until the whole thing explodes? Jack asks Billy if Kane has met with him yet. Billy says he hasn't. Jack hopes he doesn't. He's not keen on Kane investing in Abbott Communications. Everyone knows he wants Chancellor and has expressed no interest in Billy's company. Let's leave it at that. Billy and Sally exchange a look, and Jack asks if there's something he needs to know. Sally reminds Billy that Jack invested because he trusts his judgment. It's time to talk. Billy tells his brother he wants to help Kane get Chancellor back from Victor. Jack fumes over this, but Billy can't walk away from this opportunity. He's confident he can convince Kane to do this together. They're both connected to Catherine and Jill. Diane argues that Kane may not be telling the truth. Billy says Jill booted him from the company, but never offered it to Kane. That bothers him. Jack fumes that he gave Billy funding for Abbott Communications to give him something to focus on. If he's obsessed with Chancellor, Abbott Communications will flounder. Billy says he has an agreement to put Sally in charge. Jack doesn't mean to insult her, but yells at Billy, "How could you make a decision like that without consulting me first?" Billy reminds him Chancellor's not a part-time job. Jack hollers that he made this investment in him. Billy says his name will be on it. Sally will just operate the day-to-day. Diane tells Billy that Jack believed he would be running Abbott Communications. She wonders if Sally even has expertise in this area. Sally says she's been a CEO a few times and is confident she's up to the job. Jack hollers at Billy that this wasn't a financial investment for him. It was for his brother, to give him something to focus on after Jill pulled the rug out from under him. He didn't want to see him go dark. That was the point. I didn't do this for Sally. I did this for you. Billy thinks he's just pissed because he didn't consult him. Sally is my pick, Billy declares. He trusts her and Jack should too. If he doesn't, this conversation is over. Jack sees, I did this for you. For my brother. It was a gift of love and faith. He's throwing it back in his face. Billy doesn't think he has faith in him at all. Jack doesn't trust Kane. He hollers about this new company with their family name on it isn't worth his time. Billy has to prove he's the one to lead Chancellor. Jack screams, "Prove it to whom?" It's the thrill of the whim for him, and has to do with his hatred for Victor. Billy points out he hates Victor too. They could finally put that bastard in his place. Sally and Diane intervene. Diane feels it's a moot point. Kane can't take Chancellor from Victor with or without Billy's help. Billy plans to prove her wrong.